So let me give you that first thing all over again. Hold on a second. That's too dark. My bad. Oh, didn't we do that? Hold on, because I got to flip the screen around. All right, I got this. I'm going to do the screen flip thing this time. Hold on. This will make it easier on me. So go to settings, camera, and then mirror, and then go to back camera. All right, right. Let me move this thing out of the way. I'm gonna go like this. All right. So I'm gonna give you the same pattern that I had a minute ago. Like this, like this. Now, all right, right. So they say that in the beginning there was the 1, right, and then the 1 splits to the 2. So this would be your negative, your positive, and all that other that nonsense that they teach people about. Right. Now, this is the thing, right? So now we're talking about layers of energy. So you have 2 forces. You have one goes this way, and then you have the other one going this way. Right? Now, some people have seen this symbol before. I don't remember what it is, but there's like some pagan shit that deals with this symbol. I don't remember exactly what it is because I don't care about their names. Now, this is the thing, right? Is like this, open another layer. Right? When you're dealing with magnetism, you have energy that is going this way. Right? And this is what starts to create different forms because you have the 1 and the 2 and the 3rd and the bottom point. Right? There's always a bottom point. Now, this is the thing, is you also have energy that goes this way. That's why you have like your firmaments and shit like that. And no, I'm not saying the world's round, and I'm definitely not saying it's flat either. Okay, but this is the thing, is you have different polarities, right? You have your negative and your positives. Okay, so due to these negatives and positives, you have these forces that are traveling at all times. Now, as they're traveling, they're hitting focal points. This would be your focal point. Right? This is that vortex that everybody's talking about that everything has to go through. Right? This is also why the brain has that soft spot in the beginning. Okay. Now, that spiral then pours out at the bottom. So the thing is when energy is traveling this way, the energy that's furthest away is going to be brighter. So you're going to have water that surrounds everything. Right? Now, if you remember, the water goes deeper and deeper. Right? Because remember, water is a solvent. Water is something that energy is going into that hasn't had enough energy to create something physical yet. The reason that you have physical things like land masses, which all are going to be found closer to the center, but not quite touching it. The reason behind that is because there's so much energy in this area that is going to create more water because it's too much to take a physical form. But there's going to be land masses, and those land masses, because energy bounces, right? It's going to go like this, and then there's energy that's going to go like this. It's going to go in these different directions, right? Which is why you have your what? Your mountains and your valleys. Okay. This is exactly why the world's shaped the way that the world is. Okay. Because the energy that's collected at the center is what is creating the physical land masses. The energy that's still pouring out on these outskirts is why you have your water surrounding everything. That's why the world's mostly water, right? And the thing that's funny about this is that this same thing is also the reason, we'll go with purple. If we follow these same things, actually, hold on, let me give you the sun and the moon first, right? So you have the sun over here, right? Now the sun follows a specific pattern. It's an 8 pattern that goes this way, like this. All right. If you ever watch how the sun actually rotates, it's on an 8. It's spinning on a different axis. The moon, however, is known as the Most High, okay, because the moon is up here. Now the moon is on this trajectory. It's going this way. That's why it ends up crossing the sun at a certain point. Okay. Now, if you studied anything about biology, you also know that this is how cells are formed as well. Right? So the world is internal as much as it is external. Proof of that is the fact that this is your brain, which comes to this point. It's just following this trajectory of energy, right? It goes like this, right? And then the bottom of your brain, where your cerebellum's at, is the part where the energy is pouring out, which is why your cerebellum has, if you ever look at it, your cerebellum has all these little lines on it that follow that same magnetic charge. Okay, it goes out like this. Now, following the magnetism, you have what is known as your lateral ventricles, which are the ones that go up like this. They curve around like this, right? Still following that same charge. That's that ram that you see in that picture that I just showed you. Right? It goes out like this and then out like this. Right? So this is also the formation of your brain is the same thing as the world is. Now, at that focal point where the energy meets is where the beginning of your spinal column falls into play. That's that triangular shape that you see known as the pyramid, which is also the owl. You see, this is where your eyes are, right? The basal ganglia is in here inside the lateral ventricles. Now, the basal ganglia is a round thing, but it looks like this. It's got these little pieces on it that pull together like this and like this. All right, because it's always following the magnetism. So below that, you'll have your brain stem, which is still following that same magnetism. Now, if we add the skin to it, right, this is the same spot where your actual eyes are. Right? Your nose comes down like this. Hold on, let me change the color of that. Right? Your nose comes down like this. You got your 2 nostrils, and then it comes to that point. Right? And then your mouth is down here. It's those energies that are running into each other. Everything follows this. The difference is when it comes to your head, right, the roundness here meets up with the roundness here, which gives you the shape of the ear, right? Your ear follows the same exact pattern. Now, literally, everything in existence follows the same magnetic energy as everything else, because when you go to the next layer, I can give you your heart next, which is shaped, oops, sorry, it should be a bright color, pink. Right? Your heart looks like this. Right? And inside your heart, it has those chambers that go like this. Your heart isn't exactly like a round shape. Okay, it's more in the shape of your ears, so to speak, right? But it still follows that same exact pattern. But all you got to do is add the stems to it, and all of a sudden, your heart becomes the apple. same way as your brain does and everything else. Literally, the world is you internally and externally. So understanding the flow of energy is the thing that teaches you how the world operates. Now, we can go up another layer. I know it's starting to look a little jumbled up, so let me just remove some of this so that it's a little more clear. It's starting to look a little crazy. Let me keep this one, and get rid of the face, and we'll move up to the next layer. And now you have, right? So your heart would be about here, right? And then you have the clavicle, right? That's following that same magnetism. Rib cage. Everything about your body is magnetism. There's no denying it whatsoever. It all comes together the same exact ways. It's all sacred geometry. So your rib cage is shaped like this, basically. And then below that, because remember, the energy is pouring out at the bottom. So what's happening? Down here at your hips, you also have the other magnetism of your body. And that's that butterfly shape. All right, where you got your little sacral down here, it goes up like this, and you got your little holes over here like this and like this, right? So that's because this has its own magnetic force to it. Right? So you have energy pushing up this way, and then you have energy pushing down this way, which is why your organs all start to shape in this way, because they're stacking the energies on top of each other. This is literally how all of your organs get formed.
Wow.
I'll tell you, like, literally, this is like the whole formation of life itself.
That's crazy.
So it's like, you know, once you figure out certain shit, you know, things just start to become apparent that you start to recognize patterns and synchronicities and everything. And it makes it so that you get to a point to where life is just energy. Literally. There's no way to avoid it. There's nothing that you can do to hide it, right? This pops up, right? Your neck goes like this, right? So it's trapping the energy in it, right? So up here is what? See where the energy is coming from here? And then you'll have your head up here, right? So you have the energy from your brain that's coming down this way and this way. So you get what? Them thyroids that you were talking about earlier. Because it's the two meeting points of the energy. It's those two vortexes that are hitting each other that creates those two organs. Because it's the energy just spiraling in circles right there because it has nowhere to go.
Wow.
So like literally whatever's external is internal as well. There's no avoiding it. This is what I mean. Like once you understand these things, you know that you're a part of everything, physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically. Everything is a part of you. Literally, there's no escaping